Okay, is screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Uh, for those who gave attempt to the prelims, for those who are trying to give the attempt to the prelims, I would like to give you some important tips or advices considering next 362 days for the prelims, how you can plan, how you can do. I will do in two sessions. First, in this 1 hour, we are going to see the pattern of questions, how questions were asked, how it is framed, how it was changed in the coming days. And we will also try to see what should be the best approach. I'm talking about practical approach, my dear friends. I'm not talking about the approach which is on the scale of measurement of I prepared very well, I prepared excellent. You should not measure it. In fact, we cannot measure. No one can measure it. So, हम यूपीएससी की ये काफी अनप्रेसिडेंटेड यानी अनसर्टेन क्वेश्चन पैटर्न्स जो है इसके हम टैकल करने के लिए कैसे तैयारी करना, पहला। दूसरी चीज है कि हाउ क्वेश्चंस वर फ्रेम्ड and what are the things we have to keep in mind while preparing any notes or topic or any kind of material. One thing is very clear that UPSC is not going to rely on the traditional sources. That is, traditional sources means I will read only Rashmikant Polity, I will read only Bipin Chandra, I will read only Spectrum, I will read only some kind of Ramesh Sharma. Sorry, Ramesh Sharma. Sorry, not Ramesh Sharma. I think economics by Ramesh Singh. And I will read only Nitin Singhania books. So people are running behind these books. But why I don't know, people are leaving these books called as NCRTs. If you read, let us say 11th NCRT Indian Constitution at Work, if you read the 8th NCRT book of NCRT, you might solve some important questions in the polity section. It has one or two questions. Of course, the question which was asked to the president is beyond the NCRTs and Lakshmikant itself. Okay. Now, if you read Themes 1 NCRT book, you will answer this question. Themes 1 NCRT book, you will answer this question undoubtedly. Okay. So you have to see that questions are asked from the area. Of course, this is beyond the NCRT only. Questions were asked from those areas which are highly important for the basic part. Okay. So basic part means you have to prepare NCRTs very, very perfectly. So again, you people can ask me, sir, NCRT is very difficult to read, very difficult to understand. See, we have hardly 39 books in NCRTs from 6th to 12th. So in that, we have to focus. So if I see the pattern of questions here, history covered 13. Interestingly, the modern history got hardly one question. Okay. And polity, there were 14 questions, directly and indirectly. Governance, there are 3 issues. There are questions about acts this time. Geography, considering world geography point of view and everything, even IR point of view, if you see the things in the geography point of view, 18 questions were there, including IR. Okay. And environment, hardly there are 10 questions are there. And economy, 15 questions are there, but which is untraditional questions. So this is the question pattern which was tried to change in this period. Government schemes, there were 4 questions were come from government schemes. Current affairs part, presence in news, and different things are there. Overall, we can get that almost questions were come from the untraditional sources, because last time there was a question about World Cup in cricket, but this time is a question about chess. Okay, so I will discuss each and every question also, but before that, let me start the session from here. So you can see history questions. So history questions, only 13 questions are there. And previously, they used to give, like, you see, Motupalli Port, 2018 question, my dear friends. Motupalli Port is port of which of the following kingdoms? Then they used to ask about Deva Dhana Priyadasi is the name of the which Mauryan king. Ashoka name was mentioned in which of the following inscriptions? This was the pattern of ancient questions, but this time they changed a bit. Even Buddhism, Jainism also they used to ask the facets of Buddhism, the patterns of Jainism, the divisions in the Jainism, Shwetambaras, Digambaras, Murtipans, and Terapantis. They used to now the questions were asked about a simple thing: the places associated in Buddhism, the two Mahasangikas. Okay, so they simply asked the location of it. Dhanya Kataka is located in which regions? Okay, now you can see here. One more thing is they asked about Sangam. Previously, Sangam was only the literature was mentioned, but this time they asked about a name. Vattakirtal. Name was asked in the paper, which is very interesting to see that Sangam got importance. Suddenly, you can ask me why Sangam got importance. My dear friends, Sangam got importance this time because the government of India conducted Kasi Sangam conference. Kasi Sangam conference. Okay. Kasi Sangam conference. And this is quite important one. In Kasi Sangam conference, Modi ji spoke about the greatness of uh, the Sangam and their culture and everything. Understood? So here is the important thing that the kings, I mean, it is the thing what Kurtal is a process in which they will die for the king. If king is defeated, and they will ritual. The ritual is called as Abi Bali. They will do that and they will die. So this is one important thing if you asked in the exam. So from current affairs, they went to the deep of the Sangam literature. Okay, deep of the Sangam literature, which is very, very interesting to find out that. Okay, so this is how the question is framed. Of course, this is also the area people use. If you read Hoysala and Kakatiyas, Yadavas, and Gahadwalas separately, if you don't have an idea of overall, again, it is difficult to answer this question. Difficult to answer this question because you have to idea about the timeline. Chronological order is also important. So chronologically, previously questions were asked. So arrange the following in the order. From the modern, they used to ask. From the modern, they used to ask when non-cooperation movement was happened, when civil disobedience movement was happened, when we have this Quit India movement was happened, arrange the following in a chronological order. This is how they used to ask. But this time, they went on to extend that from the medieval history, from the early medieval history, they ask you this question, which is very interesting plus challenging task for the coming aspirants. Now you can see here concept of stupa. Now this was the question which is now in controversial because some of the historians they are saying stupa is not the original idea of Buddhism. Stupas, in fact, made during the megalithic period. Dolmens, and there the other names are there. So that is the first stupas. I mean, the idea of stupas was began there. So remaining two statements are correct, but still you can see here two questions were asked from Buddhism. Two questions were from Buddhism. Jainism is completely silent in this year paper. So Buddhism art is also quite famous in questioning area. Now you can go here. So Korakai Pompuar Murachi. Again, this is from the Tamil history again. So again, you can see why Tamil history was focused particularly this particular part. Because you have a movie called as Ponniyin Selvan, PS1, PS2. No, I'm not telling UPSC is watching movie, but I'm telling they are in news. Cholas are in news. I'm telling Cholas are in news because of this movie. So one should give some priority in preparation. Okay. So of course, I never imagined that question will come from the Cholas port areas. But questions are asked. I told you, Motupalli port is a port of Kakatiyas. So whenever you are preparing history part, for every kingdom, for example, if you are reading about Guptas, what were the important port areas under Guptas? Mauryans, same thing. Same thing with the regional kingdoms, Vijayanagara Empire. Then we have Kakatiyas. Okay, so this is how we have to prioritize in the coming days. In the coming days, whenever you are reading a topic, for example, you are reading Buddhism. आप क्या करेगा? Origin of the Buddhism you will read. After origin of Buddhism, what you have to do? You have to read about important facets of Buddhism, what Buddha taught. Then Buddha art form. Then you should remember these points. Apart from that, the major, activities has happened. Missionary activities of Buddhism, Buddhist councils. In SSC CGL, there were questions about councils. So this thing should be in our mind. Coming to Jainism also, Jainism, origin of Jainism, facets of Jainism, literature of Jainism. Of course, literature of Buddhism, I forgot about here. Literature of Buddhism, literature of Jainism, literature of Buddhism, literature of Jainism, architecture of Buddhism, architecture of Jainism. There will be chaos. This question was there today, this paper. Okay, Sitta Universal previous question, in fact, that is. So, this is how I can tell you. So, here also you can see literary works. Again, this is a challenging question. Difficult question because here they added almost different chronological books at one question. Different chronological orders in one question itself. Devi Chandraguptam, Milinda Pano, Nagarjuna. Okay, and here they asked about what are the pairs are current, which is the last year they introduced it. This year they implemented on a full scale. Last year there is a chance. Some questions you got one and two, two, three like that. This year completely one pair, two pairs. Because I found almost 20 videos from different academies, 20 to 30 videos how to eliminate a best elimination tricks. Some of my students called me and said, "Sir, tell me elimination tricks." I said, "I'm not a magician. I cannot tell that. You should not never and ever should not learn those mistakes with very difficult things." You see here, soul or not only prosperity here. So soul will have soul is not only of the life. Soul will be given. Soul will be there for the even for the rocks, even for the rocks, even for the other things, even for the rocks and other living beings also it is there. So what is the religion propagated this? Religion propagated this. This is a very interesting question. Very interesting question. And this was a highly confusing question to the students. So people started to work out. So how these questions and what is these things are there. So you have to see that questions are now coming from different zones. So they are going deep into the subject. They're going to deep into the subject and they are creating a lot of things. So which religion believes it? Jainism, because Jainism believes you cannot do agriculture because agriculture you will create problems to the soil. You will create problems to the soil by adding other things. So you should not do agriculture. If you see Buddhism, Buddha himself said agriculture is the most laborious task. Agriculture need more investment of time and energy. If it fails, it will create more problems. So Buddha supported Vanija. Vanija matlab trade. Whereas Jainism completely rejected agriculture. So Jainism is the answer. So here I want to confirm you should learn about the facets of the Jainism. So this question is completely indirect question from the Jainism. Person who read founder of Jainism, a founder of Jainism, a founder of Jainism, he will die. In the sense he won't answer this question. So, in tackling this kind of questions, my dear friends, you should have a better conceptual clarity over the religion. So, what I want to confirm to you is in prelims today, after understanding the history part, the last question also we will see, these two questions also we will see, you will get a clarity that questions are not only from the factual content. Questions are now changing to the next level. Questions are now changing to the next level. Understood? So that I can tell you. That I can tell you. And here it is the answer. Very factual content. Very difficult to remember. In fact, some of the people uh, hard difficult because Portuguese takeover by Sultan Bahadur Shah was there. He was surrendered the thing. Okay, and then we have this question: who among the person went for the
Sir,
construction? Yes, Joy.
so this answer will be Bahadur Shah.
Yeah.
Sir, sir, but in Poonam Dalal it's written Mahmud Begara.
No, two issues are there. In Poonam Dalal it is Mahmud Shah, but in some other books it is Bahadur Shah. But so I am confused here also. But some people said Sultan Bahadur Shah is the right answer. But I'm not going to give any kind of answers today because UPSC answers are the final answers, so we should wait for it. Keys, I tell you some
Okay,
keys you
sir.
can go ahead, but final UPSC key is the final key. So don't rush towards the keys. I think within 10 days it will come. Result will come. Just Google for 10 days. Hardly June 20th we are expecting
Okay, sir.
results. Okay. Then this damn question, this Devaraya one is famous because all three are very insignificant kings. So after completing history, this is the last question. In fact, here. So this is the question you can read from Lashmikant. Okay. So the one and only question you can see this in Lashmikant directly. So Governor General of Bengal was directly to the Governor General of India is option D. So if you do mistake here, I don't know how to help you. So then I can tell you here, these are the questions from history point of view. I can tell you very clearly that you have to maintain conceptual clarity for historical aspects. Then factual content should be remembered like anything. Apart from all these things, you should know the important principles in the major events. For example, Jainism, what are the important principles? Buddhism, what are the principles? So this is how you have to shape your preparation strategy. For the for the students who are coming from non-CBSE background, so students who are not having much orientation about the UPSC preparation, students who prepared from the very far away from places from the Delhi or some other places which doesn't have a practical guidance, they will face difficulty in this paper. I spoke to many students in the same category. They will find difficulty. They find difficulty and they were very unhappy with the paper. Okay. So one thing I want to clear that you have to shape your preparation strategy as per the requirements of the UPSC paper. So what they are expecting from us, sir, see from you and me, for everyone who are preparing for the exam, they are expecting a best clarity over the concepts. Without that, you cannot move further because in mains, you have to write questions which are very very limited in scope of expansion, but you have to think in different dimensions. For example, there was a essay called as real is rational, rational is real. हो गया काम. What you will write? What is how to write this article? How to write this essay? Understood. So that makes the students to very much difficult to write that, and they will face a lot of problem like anything. So what I can tell you is for UPSC, they are asking students to face that particular aspect. face that particular aspect. So last year there were questions. The question is, you know, a ship is a harbor safe, but it is not a what ship is for. Okay, so there is one more area. They ask a question that hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. What is research but a blind date with knowledge? So these are the statement given for essay. So very difficult to understand how to write those essays. So students who are not able to feel easy in writing prelims, they have to check the mains papers first. Mains papers first. Last year there is a essay. The essay which one of my student wrote and he got good rank also. That is, you cannot step it twice in the same river. He chose that essay. He cannot step twice in the same river. So for that essay, how to write? What you will write? So what I can suggest you is take the previous UPSC essay paper, last 2 years only. Don't write previous ones. Don't write previous one. Don't write 2014, 15 papers or even 16 papers. Write from 19, 20, 21, 22. In fact, 21, 22 papers are very difficult. Choose the paper and write one or two essays. Feel free to send me. Just send me. And on special day, it is 1 hour, 2 hours. I will sit with you and I will discuss. Not coming Bengal in phone or in Zoom call. I will talk to you. You know why? Because writing essays need lot of skill. We need to develop historical skills, social skills, economical and economical concepts, political aspects, several examples, live examples, more and more examples. For example, you cannot step twice into the same river. If the same essay is given, how that can be explained? That can be explained with a story, small story. Okay, for example, in Indian history, we had sati, which was abolished. So when it was abolished, people opposed it, but still, with the ruthless implementation, we got complete subjugation of sati process. If someone is trying to revive the sati, it is not validated. So sati cannot be a step which cannot be, we can enter into the same thing again. So this is how you have to give explanation. Previously, we have license Raj, Inspector Raj. They used to kill the competition spirit in the market. We banned them. Now it is open market. So we should not have high restrictions in the market or in the economy. So like that, we should do lot of examples. So we should think different aspects and we should write. So if you are not able to clear the prelims, if you are not able to understand the prelims questions pattern, if you are not able to gain knowledge over these aspects, my dear friends, don't worry. It is the high time to recheck our preparation strategy. High time, matlab, I mean, high time means you have to check out where exactly you are, and what you should do. So after history, I just want to confirm here. History is a pool, is a step for the writing essay and for GS also. Sir, you're talking nonsense. How can they become important for essay? My dear friends, in history you will learn philosophies. Sir, where I will learn philosophies, sir? In Vedic literature, you will read, you will read about some Upanishads. Just idea about some Upanishads. For example, you have Chandogya Upanishads. Just have an idea. Vedanta philosophy, dualism. Okay, Brahman, Atma. So he believes that everything is Maya, irrational. We are getting close to it. So philosophy you will learn in history. You should learn beyond the textbook. Get some knowledge. Not read. Don't read number of books. Get some knowledge over philosophical issues. Buddhism. Read about Buddhism. Understand the Buddhism. This year, Buddhism was in news because we conducted SCO Buddhist conference. my students whoever attended the Buddhist conference, I explained SEO Buddhist conference and SEO I explained completely. But question was asked about the Buddhism aspects in exam. Interestingly, we covered Operation Dost, but there was no question about Operation Dost in Turkey, but they question about earthquake. That is interesting. So they are trying to go beyond the aspirants' mindset, beyond the coaching institute's mindset, beyond the teaching faculty mindset. They are going beyond to it and they are tackling. See, everyone is new to this kind of questions. The thing is, we have to evolve our strategy by coming years. Understood? So that is what I can tell you in this point of time. So what from history point of view, you can understand that these are the certain important aspects we can work out. Next, coming to polity section, you'll see here questions asked from moderate to extreme level. This is the easy question you can tackle, but this question is completely interesting and even very depth oriented. No polity book covered about this issue. I'm sure about it. You can read DD Basu or you can read some other book, but very difficult to find answer for this question in the traditional books. Then where we can find, sir? We can find only from the newspaper. Only from the newspaper we can find this question. Answer for this question we can find this in the newspaper only. Understood? So this is where I can tell you. So Presence Act is in news. Presence Act is in news. So here I just want to add some information. I did one video for GEO IAS Academy YouTube channel. In that I explained about presence. I explained about presence uh, things and everything. So in that, if I'm not wrong, I cannot remember exactly. I discussed about presence comes under which list. Okay, if someone sees it the video, you can check out the things. I'm not sure about it, but I discussed, I guess. So you can have this from the current affairs only they framed, because while giving inaugural speech to the president to the parliament, the President of India Draupadi Murmu spoke about we should raise the number of jails. This was became a controversial issue at that time. Instead of reducing the crimes, Indian government, I mean President of India giving suggestions to rising the jails in India. It became a controversial issue at that time. Okay, so that I can tell you that this is again a problematic issue. So that I can tell you. So this you should remember again. So from the current affairs only this question was framed, but options are very difficult. So which is correct, which is wrong, which is also thing. Chief purpose of the constitution. Some of my friends said, I mean my aspirants who wrote the exam said this is the answer. Some goes for this one, some goes for this one, and some goes for this one. As a political student, as a political science student, and from the faculty point of view, I can tell this is the best option. Chief purpose of the constitution is this one. Okay. So, of course, there is an argument within the circle of the faculty itself. This can be the chief argument. But we, the people of India, we had this constitution to secure justice, to get the social equality. Of course, not only social equality and political equality also, but social security also there. So social justice, social equality, social security is the three dimensions I can tell you. But some of the people are saying even it determines the objectives of the necessary of the lawmaking also. But I'm not going to stick to the any key. But from my point of view, it is a D is the answer. But some other keys, even I self saw A is the answer. Okay. So whatever I can tell you that you can think about the main purpose of the constitution, which was in the 11th NCERT Indian Constitution at Work. There is a chapter called as Why, How, Constitution. Why, How, Constitution is their book. The chapter was there. You can see it. Then this is the most interesting question which I found in the paper. Why? Because this year we have 103rd amendment EWS reservation is in news. Okay, in Janhit Abhiyan versus Union of India, Article 16, Clause 6 is in news, which is a fundamental right. Then LGBT rights are going on Article 14, Article 15, Article 16, again fundamental rights. So they went to the fundamental rights. You see here, they asked about which of the constitution amendment has widely impacted the fundamental rights issue. Now people may go for 42nd amendment because this is called the mini constitution. We'll read in constitution, Lakshmikant. But it is not about constitution changes. It is about fundamental rights issue. It is a first amendment. First amendment has a big lot of controversial issues. Of course, you remember the name Champakam Dorai Rajan. Champakam Dorai Rajan, she filed case against Article 15 of Indian Constitution. Article 15 of Indian Constitution, Article 16 of Indian Constitution. Okay. Then during that time, Crossroads, a newspaper, was banned by Nehru. Article 19 was in news at that time. Land reforms brought by Nehru was in news because Article 19, Clause 1, Clause F was affected by at the time. So all were the things handled by the First Amendment, which added 15 Clause 3 to the Indian Constitution, which added First Amendment added the ninth schedule to the Indian Constitution. Ninth schedule to the Indian Constitution. It added more dimensions to the Article 19, Clause 2, which is restrictions to the fundamental rights. But not an easy task to find that. Not an easy task to find that because mostly students will read important amendments. They will read about 42, they will read about 44, they will read about 86. They are important. In fact, every amendment is important, but with respect to fundamental rights, they will confuse. Some can give answer directly also, they will confuse. Now, this question is, which of the following bodies is a constitutional body? Easy question. But again here, how many members are there? For example, National Law Commission is not a constitutional body. So 4 is not there. Human rights is not a constitutional body. We discussed it in our current affairs topic, my dear friends. I told you a 9 years old girl was brutally raped in the West Bengal region. National Human Rights Commission took it as a sumoto. In the same article, next day I told one more case. So I told at that time it was depends on the Paris principle, non-constitutional body. So if you eliminate this, so we have 2, I think not 3 is also correct. So this is never became the consumer redressal, never become the one is left here. Simple technique. If you remember Article 338B, nothing is needed. Directly you will go for the answer only. So this is what the exam, and this is the most interesting question which has happened here. So they ask about, again, same question you can read in Lakshmikant itself. So bills and everything you can have an idea. So then Parliament Finance Bill is also issue in Lakshmikant, you can read it. Community results from here onwards, polity was done. So here you can tell you from polity point of view, questions were asked from 2 dimensions. One is static part, one is current affairs part. Both covered in a deep manner. Why this was done, sir? Again, general studies, paper 2, mains, you have to think. Mains, you have to think. In mains, this time they asked about a question last year, that is, list out the cases of Supreme Court with respect to environment judgment. They asked this. Understood. So what I can tell you is, for mains in GS2, they are tightening the questioning area. They are trying to focus on the main important stuff which is very difficult to answer in GS2. So last time they asked about a question that to what extent decentralization was changed in India. To what extent is decentralization changed in India? Okay. Then they asked about how the parliament is able to accountable. Parliament is making accountable of the executive. Very questions are very difficult at that time. So Those who are unable to think that I haven't did well, open mains paper and see what is your capacity and what is your level of writing questions. People are generally today also, because of lack of awareness, generally giving priority to prelims. They will say पहले मैं prelims करना है, इसके बाद हम सोचेंगे मेंस के बारे में. इसके बाद आपको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, लॉलीपॉप मिलेगा आपको. ओके, 1 रुपये 2 रुपये लॉलीपॉप मिलेगा. So you have to buy it and you have to give to others. Nothing will happen after prelims. You won't have much time to prepare. So I want to confirm to you, if your prelims paper is bad, if your prelims paper is bad and worst in your opinion, if your prelims paper is bad and worst in your opinion, my dear friends, that I can tell you that you have to redefine your strategy, redefine your strategy, redefine entire process of the preparation strategy. So, what is your status? I cannot tell. Your parents cannot tell. Your parents cannot tell. I cannot tell. It's only you can decide what is your status. So अब क्या करना है? पहले एक A4 sheet निकालो. Just take an A4 sheet. In the A4 sheet, maintain what NCRTs you have read so far. How many NCRTs you have read so far? That is one thing. Second thing, you have to focus about how many NCRTs आपने पढ़ाई किया. इसके बाद you have to hello. Yeah. बोलिए 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 अन्वेषा.
सर आई एम फ्रॉम आईएसटी बैकग्राउंड, सो मैं अपना स्कूल का बुक्स कर रही थी, तो सर वही करूँ कि एनसीईआरटी में शिफ्ट कर जाना चाहिए?
शिफ्ट करना है, एनसीईआरटी पहले शिफ्ट करना है. आई विल टेल यू द एनसीईआरटी स्ट्रेटजी हियर. सी, I will tell you just a second. I will share the right. What is the best way to read the NCRTs? Just a second. Because most of us, not only me, every UPSC faculty will say NCRTs prepare करना है, NCRTs prepare करना है, लेकिन कैसा prepare करना है? That is the most difficult thing I can tell you. Okay, so I hope I am visible to you, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So screen is visible to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So papers
Yes,
are not
sir.
going to. Yeah. This is the things you can see here. NCRTs for history, for ancient history. These are the two ancient history books. In the entire NCRT 39 books, ancient history was discussed only in these two textbooks. Medieval history discussed in these two textbooks. Modern in these three. 10th NCRT chapter number 3, there was a direct question couple of years back. Critically assess the civil disobedience movement. I guess no other book in India explained how civil disobedience movement became popular, how the different things were there. So then themes 3, India since independence, you have to read from this book. This is the history part. Then art and culture, 11th NCRT and introduction to Indian art and culture, direct book. Okay, this is up to the history part. You have to finish this book. Finish meanings opening the book and reading like a chitti the robot, throwing away the book and calling Kalyan and say, मैं तो finish किया, अब क्या करना है? क्या करना है? You know, Aditya Stotram, you have to pray every day. No. Understand the things mentioned here. How the things was decided, how the things was explained, how to understand the things. Then geography. Basically, from last few years, geography is losing its importance. But still, it is the most important subject uh, for understanding many issues in the UPSC preparation. So I can tell you, physical geography and human geography, you can read like this. Of course, you have a wonderful faculty, Prince sir, so he can help you in better aspects. In these aspects, it will be covered. Then economy, how to read from these books. Okay, micro को छोड़ना है, not important. Macro is quite important. Then focus. 12th also 2 books are there. 11th also, you can read the 2 books. That's basic stuff, you can do it. Okay, basic stuff you can do it. History part, geography part, economy part, I explained to you. Even art and culture also, the important NCRTs I explained to you. Further, polity. 6 to 10 rough reading. 11th is not the book. In fact, sorry for the mistake. Uh, Indian Constitution at Work. Indian Constitution at Work. Most important book in my point of view. Before NCRT before Lakshmikant, you have to read this book. Indian Constitution at Work. आपको फिर मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ, whatever books you read, same topper will also read the book. Whatever books you are referring, I will talk to you about this later, please. So Indian Constitution at Work is one important thing. IR point of view, contemporary old politics book is one of the most important book before reading IR. Contemporary old politics book. Most important book, in fact. You will see India-China relations there. You will see India-US relations there. You will see ASEAN countries. You will see European Union countries. Everything you mentioned in the book only. Unfortunately, they will read some other books. You know, Das Elephant, Das, Shashi Tharoor, Pawan Singh. Before that, they won't read this book. They will go, they will open the book, they will read 10 pages, they will throw away the book and they won't read again. Unfortunately, see, if you and me are the babies, you won't eat biryani in the first day of your birth, right? You should be fed by your mother and my mother. Slowly and gradually, our organs will develop the ability of digestion, and then we will eat all the grass and everything. But unfortunately, UPSC preparation, they are moving instant means instantly. See, 33 hours quality. Who can understand 33 hours quality? So the students who read at least for Indian Constitution book 3 to 4, sorry, at least 30 times, they can finish this in 33 hours. Sir, 30 times, yes, you have to 30, more than 30. There are some students who will read 100 times Rashmikant quality. 100 times, my dear friends. If you see my book, Rashmikant, it will be like a dustbin. Completely blue, black, red. You know, sometimes my mother asks me, what is that book? Is it a book or waste book? Completely dark because of my excessive uses. I'm not telling my secret things, but I'm telling you, you have to read like that. Then social issues, 11th and 12th sociology.
Sir,
This is enough. Yes, Preeti.
sir, can you please show the previous slide? I have lost the connection.
Sure, Preeti. No issue. So ancient, medieval. Just after noting down, let me know. I will wait for some time.
Yes, sir, done.
Thank you. So then we have this.
Sir, history,
Dekar, bolo.
sir, old NCERT, historically.
Old NCR to ठीक है. No problem. Old or even new also, it is good, not an issue. There are some chapters you are missing. People are some nowadays asking me, sir, I won't read NCRTs, I will read entire Tamil Nadu history books. Okay, go ahead. No issue. But within the NCRTs, I can tell you this is the strategy. Okay. Now, what is the difference between topper and a person who is repeatedly failing in prelims? The difference is very simple. A topper will maintain consistency. You see, Pawan Datta, who got to second rank, in interview he said he thankful to me. He said the word. If you understand Telugu, he said that. So I'm thankful to Kalyan sir, and I'm thankful to Saras sir. I'm thankful to some other people. He said. I want to confirm here that the thing I found in Pawan Datta very carefully that he maintained consistency. Doesn't mean he read every day. He used to read, let us say, 1 week, 2 weeks. He used to take 1 break, 2 days break, 3 days break, 4 days break. Then he used to come back. The comeback part is very important. Let us say 2 hours you read, 10 minutes break. Then you should come back. 4 hours you read, 10 minutes break. You should come back. Unfortunately, 4 hours break, 4 hours reading, 10 minutes break, you will open Twitter, you will open YouTube. you'll open WhatsApp, you open Telegram, you open something else. You'll dive into that and you will stop there and you will worry. Later you will feel regret. So better you should have control over temptations. If you take one idea, as Swami Vivekananda said, take one idea, stick to it, think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let your brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your brain fulfill with the idea and leave everything to the idea alone. And this is the way to get success. Okay. If you want to read Lakshmikant, open it. Today, let us say 3 chapters. Focus it, finish it. Write every day one question. How bad you are writing in mains. Let us say you don't have any. Before writing mains, questions to the mains topics, I would like to give you serious advice. Serious advice, try to understand. Before writing a question to the topic in environment, do you have self-prepared notes for environment topics? Question yourself. Okay. Then let us say if you are writing history questions, do you have self-prepared notes for history? If you say no, make it. Make it. No, sir, I will buy best coaching material, buy it, worship it. But check whatever the topper in Indian UPSC examination, my dear friends, they had their own material. Whether they copy pasted, whether they simply took the photographs and they added to the notes, but they had their own material. So what you did till now, I'm not aware about it. I'm not focusing about it. But from the coming days onwards, you should change the entire mindset. This exam is demanding conceptual clarity plus you should have the mindset of application the things. That is, you should know what exactly things are happening. Okay. So these are schedule AS questions, again polity questions. So this is the science and technology questions. So questions are right now in deep. This is a news article based on current affairs only. But it happened almost in the month of June like that. Invasive species, I'm even not aware about this. I'm sorry for it. I felt this is a question which is typical. So environment questions are quite difficult, very difficult. Mushrooms is in news because of some several other issues in the states. So again, this question was asked. So you see, questions were asked from the different point of view. These are current affairs. This is again a topic which is complex. This is also environment is somewhat tricky this time. I accept it. I don't know whether your environment faculty will accept it or not, but I can proudly tell you that environment is one of the toughest section in this year paper. Pakka toughest paper, and even geography also. They are started to ask about different things. This is also one important thing I can tell you. Okay, so further I can tell you here, economy section also. This is a very interesting things. So environment also, they gave questions which are deeply in knowledge. This was in news with respect to Gati Shakti 2021 topic. But now they was asked a question in which, sir, it means shall I prepare current affairs from the last 3 years, sir? No. No. I want to tell you that you have to prepare the current affairs from the background of the concepts. Background of the concepts that you should be done like anything. Okay. So this is the discussion of prelims 50 questions. I would like to tell you, I haven't discussed any answers. I haven't discussed with you any answers. I would like to give a clarification for you. I just discussed about some important aspects of the prelims preparation. Some important aspects of prelim preparation. The strategy for the coming days. Again, I want to confirm to you, if something is wrong in our path, we have to see our direction. We have to see our traveling mode. In civil service examination also, if something wrong with the tackling exam, we have to introspect. We have to introspect ourselves and we have to change towards the examination point of view. Again, I'm telling to you, you all people are talented. You are all having a confidence. You are all having a faith on yourself that you can do it. If you are unable to do it, You have a faith that you want to test yourself towards the exam. So for those who gave the attempt, be happy. Whatever it is there, you did it. You did it. Sleepless nights. You did it. Sleepless nights are there. Lack of complete food. Sacrifices are there. Continue. Okay. So it was the question asked by Arjun to Krishna. What will happen if I lose? What will happen if I die? If I die? Krishna says, Hatova praptate swargam jitvava bokshase mahim. Tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krutanichayaha. Whatever it happened, you will have career, you will have opportunity, you will have life, but introspect yourself. You have to read a lot. Not only reading 1 or 2 books and saying that I am going to clear UPSC. पहले my नाम बोर्ड बना के मेरा साथ रखना है, or I have to appoint a person as assistant coming days itself, and you can call your friend and say I'm going to become collector next year, and you can become the chief personal secretary besides me. Don't do any job. We can tell all these things in a daydreaming. ओके लोग आपको मालूम है ना, जो लोग दिन में भी सोता है उनको बहुत ज्यादा ड्रीम्स आता है। ड्रीम में वो कलेक्टर बन गया, प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन गया, यूएन यूनाइटेड नेशन का सेक्रेटरी जनरल बन गया, ये चीज भी उनका आता है, लेकिन वो जो सच नहीं है। इन रियलिटी इट इज नॉट हैपनिंग। सो बी इन रियलिटी। In reality, this exam needs hard work. In reality, this exam needs a lot of stuff which you have to work out from the brain. In reality, it needs a lot of confidence. So, you got some clarity about the preparation of the 5th. Tomorrow, I will tell you the second important things. Whatever the so-called path, which is uneven path for you, you should get a better clarity. So, I want to discuss current affairs, but still, I asked to the sir that I want to discuss the prelims paper. I want to give some guidance. If I waste your time, I'm sorry for it. If it is useful to you, and I'm waiting for your feedback.
So,
I will take your doubts. I will take
Sir,
your
it was
doubts.
very useful.
I think, yeah, thank you so much. Tomorrow we'll discuss some other interesting topics about the preparation strategy. And further, tomorrow evening, whatever doubts you will have, put it on a piece of paper, and tomorrow evening I will talk to you further. Okay. And I will talk to the team, and definitely we will work out on the coming days. Essays, those who are prepared very well, there are some people who are prepared in the last few years, a few months in fact. Write some essays and send to me. You will have my number also, I guess. We will,
Sir,
No, sir, I don't. I have not yet
sir,
received.
sorry to interrupt.
Aparna, am I
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, Aparna.
Sir, I would like to ask you something. I know it is a very silly question, but still from class 6 to 10 NCRTs, do we have old version of that 6 to 10?
Yeah, absolutely we have, but no need to go for old ones.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, enough to follow the new ones. That's enough.
Okay.
See, old ones in history part it can help you, but for other subjects more or less it is same.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank-
Aparna?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
It's okay.
so
Anvesha?
yes, sir. So I
Yes, sir.
wanted to ask, so if we are reading a news, so for example, if we're reading about G20, so should we read the static part of it and make notes about that as well?
Actually, G20, if you attend my sessions, I told you G20, the background when it was started, everything. So I can tell you that if something which is in news, let us say, let us take this example today. Yeah? Parliament was recently inaugurated. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In my last session, we discussed that Parliament was in few years back, and Edward Lutyens and Barkers was the designer of it. And I think Kaustav did the answer. I gave the question. I gave the practice question. Who designed the recent Parliament? Okay. And there we got the answer also. Bimal Patel is the person who designed the new Parliament. So background is important, obviously. You have to maintain the notes. But for that, you should not keep the separate notes of it. In the Lakshmikant polity or else in the your polity notes itself, you should have an idea what is a parliament. Simply, you will read part 5 of Indian Constitution Parliament chapter. But whenever there is a news, every year Parliament is in news in 3 different times. 1 in the inaugural time, 2 in the monsoon, 3 in the winter session. Can't you spare time of 10 minutes of reading Part 5 of Indian Constitution? Article 79 includes Parliament. Article 79 says Parliament includes President, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Article 80 includes the composition of Rajya Sabha. Article 81 includes the composition of Lok Sabha. Article 82 includes the things called as the Delimitation Commission. It is in news because Delimitation Commission was appointed for Jammu and Kashmir and even Assam. Can't you spare a few minutes of time per day? It will. But the thing is, the strategy of reading must be learned by the persons. Strategy of reading should be the focus in the preparation. मैं आपसे कहना चाहता है कि पूरा भरोसा से पूरा conscious mind से कहना चाहता हूँ कि it is the exam of you and yourself. It is the exam of you, meaning it is your recklessness, it is your misinformation, it is your lack of concentration is going to decline your chances. When I started to read English in my not preparation, in my graduation, I don't know how to pronounce ADULT. I said adult. Entire class laughed and I cried at that time. I cried and I started to say, I don't know what education, I will go for some other works. Then my teacher, Sanjeev Bali, and he said, okay, if someone laughing at your walking, will you go and sit in your room or will you try to change your walking style or you will continue to walk in a same pattern? He said, I will try to change if I am wrong. Then why can't you change now? And he advised me to learn English. Today I am speaking somewhat bad English or worst English because of the teachers itself. So I decided that you should have a correct guidance, not about number of books. I will provide you thousands of books. ठीक है, but पढ़ाई कैसा, प्रिपरेशन कैसा करना है, नोट्स कैसा लिखना है, लिखना नोट्स कैसा रिवाइज करना है, ये चीज आपको ट्रेन करना जरूरी है. और इसके बाद आपको कुछ कहना चाहता हूँ, दैट इज योर माइंड सेट. जो कंजेस्ट करना नहीं है, लेकिन फॉर एग्जाम्पल the government is doing excellent job in infrastructure. Immediately, Sar is nationalist, Sar is BJP mind person. If I say the government is not working well in terms of women protection, Sar is pro-Congress. No. You should not get into that job of pro-Congress, pro-BJP, pro-this. नहीं. आपको है pro-nation. Pro-nation का मतलब क्या है? आपको फोकस करना है कि क्या पॉलिसीज में क्या गलती है, गलती को कैसा रेक्टिफिकेशन करना है, पढ़ाई करना है. बेसिक चीज को आपको ध्यान रखना चाहिए. बेसिस के आगे बढ़ने के लिए आप कुछ स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स करना, पढ़ाई करना चाहिए. इसके बाद न्यूज़पेपर में जो चीज है इसके भी फोकस करना है. I will give you an example today. Yesterday I read an article in Indian Express. Article was written by one of my favorite agriculture scientists, Ashok Gulati. He said agriculture is facing certain issues in India. Climate change is going to affect the agriculture. He gave some data. According to World Meteorological Organization, 1.1 to 1.8 degrees temperature is going to witness, rise in temperature going to witness from 2023 to 2029.
These data are important.
Absolutely, Anvesh, I'm coming to the same point. In fact, save this data in a separate page, because whenever there is a say, let us say climate change, you can use this data. Whenever there is agriculture question, that is challenges to the agriculture in the Amrit Kal, give the same data here. So you should not write, you should not remember many points. You should remember few points and should write for many things. Understood? So here I want to tell you, maintain, not every data is important, my dear friends. So if I say data is important, become collectors, not collectors, statisticians.
Where we can use it.
That depends on how your mindset is working. So for example, if you read the data is India has 18% of global population. Unfortunately, it has only 4% of global water resource. For every water challenges question, you can write. For every challenges to the urbanization, you can use this. Because this is the most important thing I can tell you. Okay. So where I can tell you, my dear friends, change your strategy and mindset towards the preparation. You have to change it for the coming days. Okay. For the next session, I will tell you. I got a text message. I'm unable to read it.
So,
Can you say directly the message? You can read it directly.
Yes, sir. I have just got into the college and I have full 3 years on me. So, sir, I'm asking you that can you give me some tips for 3 year preparation and starting from zero so I can clear UPSC in one go?
I think you are first time attending my session, right?
Yes, sir.
Your name is
Sir Priyansh.
Priyansh. Full name?
Priyansh
I'm
Sinha.
also.
the same here.
Hey, Anvesha, you were attending from the last few days, I guess.
So
How
the
can
3 years thing.
you attended my
I
sessions?
just joined the GEO
Yes, I
just
joined
3
in
weeks ago.
April.
Okay then. Okay. सबका
Sir,
नमस्कार है.
this is also my first class.
नमस्कार है Kaushik. नमस्कार Priyanshu, Anvesha. This is
Yeah.
Kalyan. Okay. And Kalyan from south part of India. Unfortunately, I was connected with you people. Fortunately, I will help you definitely on issue. So, for those who are preparing from the graduation level, you will get a best opportunity to prepare. Why best opportunity means you will see all the worst things in the preparation itself. In the sense, you will see 2023 paper, 24 paper, 25 paper, 26 paper, and you will try to try to adopt towards the preparation. If anyone is preparing for civil service examination from graduation level, I will say that is the best thing you can do in your life. You know why? Because you people are aware about the things in the UPSC before 21 years. Advantage number one, you will get better awareness about the syllabus, better awareness about the concepts, better awareness about the paper, better knowledge about how to write the answers. आप ये स्ट्रेटजी याद करना है, ABC. What do you mean by that? A stands for answer writing. पहली बात, दूसरी बात, तीसरी बात और फाइनल बात, आंसर राइटिंग बिल्कुल इंपॉर्टेंट है. 2 बेसिक्स एनसीईआरटीज जो है, मैंने आपके बोला सब कुछ पढ़ाई करना है. पढ़ाई करने के बाद उसमें क्या चीज है, वही चीज पर आपको ध्यान करना है. स्टैंडर्ड बुक्स के साथ आपका नॉलेज बेहतरीन करना है. 3 कम्युनिकेशंस. जो कम्युनिकेशंस में बंगाली हो, हिंदी हो, उर्दू हो, पंजाबी हो, तेलुगु हो, you have to get the good communication skills, even including English, because CSAT is the most nightmare for the non-English students. Hindi and CSAT are very much affected, so please do focus about the English also. I will talk to you people who are from undergraduation tomorrow. To some extent, prepare your questions and come tomorrow. And tomorrow we will deep into the, at least I will take half an hour extra Q&A sessions. We will do silly questions, serious questions. I'm not able to give you any tags for it. I want to take questions. Okay. Even a small doubt, sir, which pen I have to use in mains, ask me, not a problem. Okay. So all the way.
So if we write AC, where are we going to send you?
You can send me. No issue.
So where?
Okay. Just dial 100. Okay. Just dial 100 and say them ID number 786. Connect them and they will connect to my number. Okay. Worst joke in your life, right? So done. And you can send me to this mail called as kalyansar corrections @gmail.com. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. So that's it for me today. Tomorrow we will have a better session. I hope tomorrow we will find things for the examination point of view, and hope you got clarity about basic stuff. Tomorrow we'll see the next important things. Clear, my friends?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Who
Yes, sir.
I want to take personal information from you. Who is close to Tara Peak in Bengal?
I'm not close, sir, but 1-2 hour distance.
Kaushik, you are close.
Yes, sir. No, sir, I'm not.
Then
No,
you,
sir, no.
you raise your hand now. Bharat Jodo.
So what kind of
Sorry,
information
sir.
you need from the
Sorry,
Arapit?
sir.
Yeah. Deepak. Am I correct? Is Deepak, I guess.
No, I'm not close, but what kind of information you need from Tarapit?
Yeah, Deepak. Gee, I want just a small information, my dear friend. I'll talk to you personally. Is it okay?
Hey, it's okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. I think you have my number there.
Yeah, I just saved your number, sir.
Yeah. So text me. I'll talk to you.
Okay, sir. Okay, I will text you out.
Thank you so much. Okay, my dear friends.
You're welcome, sir.
I'll,
Thank you, sir.
thanks a
Thank
lot,
you,
and
sir.
Thank you, sir.
thank you so much for your patience.